So, hello everyone, it's Max from the English Speaking Hub, and today I'm as always trying to bake in a new expression into my active speech. So, the thing is, I've already uploaded probably around 4 videos today, so it's been quite a hectic journey, I would say, for me, and you can probably chalk it up to the fact that haven't done it for a while, and I finally feel revitalized, right? Like after having after having like recharged my batteries, doing a lot to unwind essentially. I'm finally back on track, and I want you to kind of like keep tabs on what I'm doing, even though I understand that these type of videos doesn't tend to come off as riveting and enthralling. There is way more like gripping things out there on the internet. But I think, in hindsight, when I look back on this type of videos, it's definitely gonna be just like nice to notice how much I progressed, right? So it's a nice gauge to kind of like measure, where you stand, right? Like, and how much you have already done. So, but at any rate, the expression for today is to sabotage. And what it basically means is to prevent something from being successful or being achieved, especially deliberately. So, naturally, what we're going to do is just answer the questions. I'm going to articulate my position, if there is any, on each and every one of those questions, and I'll try to kind of like elaborate on all the points that I will be trying to convey. So, first question is, what kind of distractions tend to sabotage your concentration? There's pop-up notifications from work chats and things of that nature definitely tend to sabotage my concentration. Anything that just crops up, in my feed that is emotionally evoking, I guess can sabotage my concentration. Also, I'm quite susceptible to scattering my attention across different like tabs and things of that nature. It's like my kryptonite at this point. And when you really want to lock in, um, oftentimes you just wind up in a situation where there is a lot of friction, right? So, switching off my phone is probably the most viable option to kind of like shield myself from all of these distractions that tend to sabotage my concentration. And as for other strategies that people can adopt, I reckon, doing something as simple as, just, you know, going for a walk, especially like, during your lunch break. It might go a long way in kind of like, helping you to zero in on the task that you kind of on the task that you want to hijack your attention, right? So that's like, yeah, like that's, I guess, is the most like popular strategy, right? So if you, especially if you have a sedentary lifestyle, doing something like physical, something as simple as going for a walk, can definitely render you like less mentally like frazzled and knackered. So yeah, like that's how I would approach it. So, do you reckon a zero sum mindset can lead to self sabotaging behaviors? Definitely, definitely. The self sabotaging, especially in negotiations. I guess it's the most prominent issue that a lot of individuals run into. I don't know like what to put it down to, probably like the environment that you're in, right? Like some of them are more conducive to developing the zero sum mindset, and it's very difficult to kind of like recalibrate it or to wean yourself off it. Um, and also, the thing is, like it slowly like chips away or whittles away at your motivation if things do not really go according to a plan, right? Like if there are like certain deviations that are unfavorable to you, yeah, like your motivation kind of like withers away. It just like waits, and yeah, I mean that's like the proclivity that I've noticed in myself. So, okay, speaking of deviations, why do minor deviations from a diet make people sabotage it altogether? Um, People are being too harsh on themselves. They tend to beat themselves up and, you know, indulge in this, or wallow in this, like, self-deprecating and self-lacerating tendencies, right? Like their brain, like their mindset is kind of like structured around them not being enough or something, and you can kind of like extrapolate the same issue, right? The same propensity to literally like anything else. New Year resolutions, business objectives, just literally like any goal that you set for yourself. So and it's difficult to like ditch yourself from this way of thinking, right? From this framework, because you just have to kind of allow yourself more like latitude or leeway, right? Like just leave a big like wiggle room for yourself. Just allow yourself to kind of like slip up every now and again, because otherwise you're gonna wind up self sabotaging yourself. So, are you aware of any biases that might sabotage critical thinking? I mean, it's difficult to come up with names, right? Like, I can't think of anything substantial per se, but I'm definitely aware of plenty of biases. It's just that a lot of them have like fancy, like convoluted names, and nothing like springs to mind at this juncture, I guess. Um, what's your stance on the idea that shrugging off your partner's concerns is a surefire way to sabotage your relationship? Um, I mean, my stance is that it is a far cry from ridiculous, right? Like the stake that when you brush aside or sweep under the rug your partner's concerns, you essentially like what would you say like just like denigrate them in a way, right? Like if you just like shrug it off as if it was unimportant, you know, you essentially kind of like incentivize your partner to find a new partner. And it is definitely a surefire way to sabotage and kind of like poison your relationships. So, last question with this expression is this: how might pussyfooting sabotage people's lives? When you are like vacillating between different options and things of that nature, oftentimes you just fail to capitalize on a lot of opportunities, right? So that's why like pussyfooting can be so, you know, what's the word? Detrimental and deleterious for your life, right? And yeah, like the more you let certain things simmer on the back burner, the worse the situation gets. And there is like just no two ways around it, right? Like you just have to tackle certain issues. You just have to address them. There is no way to wriggle your way out of it. So that's basically it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you want to get in touch with me, just reach out to me via Telegram. And yeah, thank you, everyone. Bye.